Hi, everybody. I want to tell you about something that happened when I was soul walking the other day. I was going out for a completely different reason. This had nothing to do with why I was doing this work. But every now and then I get like a little post it note at the beginning that's like, no, you need to take care of this thing first. You need to put your attention on this, and then we can move on to why you're here. So, this is a particular interest for people who do death work, for people who travel back and forth across different boundaries in soul realms. And when I first saw this, I did not believe what I was seeing. So, I was immediately taken to the place where I work with unquiet dead. So I'm not talking about dead who are reconciled and they're doing their thing and they have their choices in front of them and they're wise and ready to be guides or fit ancestors to come back and work with us. No, 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 no. I'm talking about the ones who are not okay, the ones who are held in a container space and they need intervention from the human end of things. The barrier was broken. I have visited this place many times, off and on, for the last 30 years. I have been here many times, and these areas always have an elemental barrier. It's not necessarily the same barrier, or it doesn't show up the same way for everybody, but I know what my barrier looks like or the how it presents itself to me, and it was had been violated. And I don't mean broken like it wore out. It had been intentionally violated. And as soon as I saw it, I called in everybody and their sister, and they immediately started to repair it. And I just kind of stood there watching them, letting the reality sink in of what I was seeing. I mean, this is huge. This is enormous. I've been talking for the last year on here about spiritual warfare, that what is happening, not just here in American settler culture, but around the world with this fascist projection has socio-political implications to harm so many people, and it is spiritual warfare. The spiritual warfare is not a side effect. It's not an incidental thing that happens alongside of the stuff that's being enacted right in front of our faces. It is intentional. This was intentional. If the unquiet dead are not, one, dealt with by humans, then we have a major bleed over of their yucky energy into our earthly systems, and it messes up everything. And two, if somebody else comes along and exploits the ones that are not being looked after, that is even worse. That intentionality dials up the effect that Unquiet Dead can have here, like double, triple, whatever. So, I encourage you, if you are someone who does death work, to go check those boundaries on a regular basis, like a couple of times a week. I don't know that daily might be excessive and a little bit overkill. I don't know. But at least a couple of times a week, go check those elemental boundaries and make sure that they're functioning properly. And if they're not, get your allies on it, get your whole cosmology on it, because this is happening. This is really happening.